Good evening, coach. We play against Kashi for the first time ever in the ISL. How do you reckon today's game will be?
I believe it will be a very good game. They're a very competitive team, very well and they play very good. So I'm looking forward to see the game. I think it will be a very good game.
Well, the record for the shortest Peter Kratky interview has been broken by that one. Mumbai City's defense has given chances away, but they've still conceded just 3. Bijoy Chetri comes in for Sahil Panwar at centre-back. That is one of the 3 changes for this game. The second one is in midfield with Jorge Ortiz, still looking for his first goal since returning to the ISL last campaign. Johnny Kauko will play against his former side, and up front, Naufal gets back-to-back starts with Ayush Chikara leading the line in the absence of Jorge Pereira Diaz. Changte's got a couple of goals already, and he seems to be getting back to his best by being played in his best position. He's not dropping deep anymore, not at number 10 anymore. He is down the wings, and that is where he is electric. Al Kratky spoke with the press earlier and ruled Ortiz out of the game, but maybe that was a little mind game to put Habas off his. And the Spaniard starts tonight. What does he have? It's going to be Kashi versus Mumbai City after this break.
Enggak ya? Sama kena.
Well, Peter Kratky has asked for energy and good attitude in this game from the start. He knows his team can have lapses in concentration, and he knows that they need to add a ruthless edge to the dynamism he has added in this campaign. And the sideways passing is gone. It has been replaced by some penetrative work as well, some vertical football, if you'd like to call it that. And of course, there was some frustration in the last campaign about teams just sitting back and letting them have the ball. And Peter Kratky had to understand that that respect will always be given to Mumbai City. And they had to make the most of it. Sometimes it doesn't really work. When you dominate the ball, it's even more difficult to break down opposition who can wait and hit teams on the break. You can see the Kashi management as well, watching carefully. There are no spectators for this one, let us remind you that, because of the venue being arranged in the last few days. Johnny Kauko, in a nice little interview, has spoken about playing against his former team and knowing about some of the ideas which Habas employs in his methods. And we will be taking a minute's silence in respect of Mr. Kushal Das, who passed away recently. He was such an important part of Indian football.
Kenyang pada bang. Ada yang perlu ngomong kantor. Cekan santai.
Well, over to the football now. Of course, Mr. Das having a huge role in shaping the sport in the country. Well, Andy Cooper's with me. Andy Habas and his experience means that he knows exactly how to pounce on any weakness that Mumbai City will show, and that is what has made his teams dangerous in the past, and that is what makes Kashi a very unpredictable side even now.
Yeah, good evening. Very much looking forward to it. He's a pragmatic coach, isn't he? I'm sure he'll be ruining the chances missed in the recent game and looking to bounce back quickly. Well organised, competitive side, excellent at set pieces. Really interesting to know that they've only conceded from set pieces so far this season. Haven't conceded from open play, and he'll be looking to try and be a little bit more aggressive in that final third, get the ball up to the strikers, work the ball into the wide areas and get them crosses in. They deliver so many crosses into games.
Mumbai City have scored just 5 goals in 4 games, and the problem is not the number itself, but how many they could have had. It's easy to get lost in what could have been in sports, so Kratky won't fixate on that. What he needs are points, and quickly Kashi play without much worry. Their concern is staying up, and they look very likely to do so. Habas has said it's no excuse that they're a promoted team. He wants them to play like a side which belongs at this level. They've shown that in bits and parts, at least in the attitude. They want to become a trophy-winning club in the next few years, and that is their focus. Habas has got the better of Peter Kratky in their first meeting, but the City coach beat the experienced Spaniard in the final of the ISL in 2024. He beat them again in the Super Cup, but Habas not on the touchline during that tournament. I wonder whether Kratky will be forced to be adventurous again. There has been a change in the way they play. Changte down the right wing is one massive way of restructuring the team, when everyone was wondering why he's playing in midfield. But this is much better from Peter Kratky as well.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for a response, they were so dominant, weren't they, in that first half of last week's game, and then against Sporting Club Delhi, a bit disappointed that they didn't take all 3 points. Weren't ruthless enough, could have killed the game off in the first half, and were left to rue some of the decisions that they made in the second half. Be interested to see how Nofal comes again, gets that back-to-back starts. Want to see a little bit more consistency from him. So exciting that first half, faded away in the second half and was replaced in a game where really they should have been taking all 3 points.
Full marks for your pronunciation of Naufal. That is exactly how it's said, and a lot of us get it wrong. So it's a good start for you as well. That pace was missing sometimes. There was, of course, there's been options like Vikram Pratap, who's played there as well, but Naufal, when he joined the club, came with a lot of expectation. But he had to add something else to pace. Pace alone can't really make a winger these days.
What they had, I think they had a possession-based style. They made a lot of lovely passes, cutting teams open, especially Sporting Club Delhi last Sunday. And then they were allowed to get Nofal in just on that wide area, and he had such dynamic pace to get away. Obviously, real reluctance to use that left foot, but able to cut in on the right, and obviously scored that wonderful goal that just catapulted them into that 2-goal lead. And at that point, you only thought there was going to be one winner.
Here's Ortiz. Oh, Naufal was the easier and possibly the better option as well. He has found him this time. Cross is disappointing. Is that final product that he has to work on.
Kita boleh kenapa? Ntar kasih Rai kan. Dia call kanan ni. Dia call kanan. Company nak call kanan.
Back four that they had, although they were ill-disciplined in the second half last week, they've got to try and remain to have control of the game. One thing I did notice about the Mumbai City side, they came flying out of the box, especially against Sporting Club Delhi last week, right on the front foot straight away, straight into the ascendancy. And obviously we know they've got that long throw.
It's a great pickup in a great area. Ortiz quickly for Chang there. Strike by Chikara. Asking for a foul on the young striker who continues to look for his first ISL goal. Kratky is not off his seat yet. Probably just a coming together.
Yeah, just as they broke through, I think it just might have been on the blind side of the official. It looks like Wayne Vaz there just able to try and get a little shirt pull with that left hand, just making sure that there's not able to get a clear attempt on goal. And it looks like there's a little bit of a melee and a bit of a carnage, but no harm done. We get the game back underway. As I was saying, yeah, they've got a real attacking threat on set pieces. You've got Akash Mishra with the long throw, obviously came up trumps in previous game, but the real attacking intent that just died off in the second half against Sporting Club Delhi. They need to put things right today.
Yeah, gave away a 2-goal lead. Very un-Mumbai City-like. Easily picked up by Liamas. Akash Mishra wins it. Ortiz was challenged from behind. Naufal tried to play it through. Referee waited for the advantage and then gave the free kick.
I think that's what you get with Ortiz, don't you? He's able to play in them little pockets. I think coaches use it a lot in terms of between the lines. You've got the back four and the midfield four of a team, and he's just able to delightfully just pull off, and people don't know who to mark him. Do the centre-backs go all the way in on that occasion, like you can see, or is it the midfielders, and he just attacks that little bit of attention, draws the foul, and we've seen, we have to say, an Kashi side, Antonio Lopez Habas, he's famous for that defensive solidity in terms of set piece. He'll be disappointed with the goals they've conceded so far in the ISL this season.
Ortiz will take this as well. Ortiz sends it in. It's got pace. Possibly needed some more elevation. That's the difference between last season's Mumbai City and this one. That ball over the top. The players been given the freedom to play, to get the ball quickly into the opposition's box.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. Definitely a little bit more in terms of purposeful, a little bit more forward, less playing around at the back. If they see the opportunity to go in behind, they will do. As we're mentioning, that penalty so far they've conceded for Kashi, and then just 2 goals from wide free kicks, and I thought there might be an opportunity for Mumbai City again to try and put it into an area where they could try and exploit. It's kind of strange type of delivery, all whipped, near post delivery, cut out by a well-marshalled defensive line, but it's definitely an area I'll be looking as a coach to kind of look at today to see how the matchup is in these set-piece areas, such a huge part of the game, and kind of a modern trend in football that's come back around to be really important.
It's being spoken about all over the world. Also getting a lot of mixed opinions from people as to whether this is a sport that's going to be just a set-piece sport at some point, as Sumit Pasi goes into the book for that challenge.
Yeah, if you look at how Kashi set up as well from corners later on, they had a really interesting style against Kerala Blasters earlier on in the season. But now we can see that man hopefully wants to get it in tight spaces, try and get the ball in and around and get his pace. Sumit Pasi experienced campaigner, get out, press him as quick as you can, reduce the space.
Nothing for Kashi in the first 10 minutes. Mumbai City would have planned to come here and dominate the ball, or rather than just dominate the ball, at least dictate some kind of control. You don't always have to control a game by having possession. And Mumbai City, however, in the first 10 minutes, it's been traffic. Kashi have had no joy, no time. Should be an interesting battle this between Nishchal Chandan and Ayush Chikara.
Yeah, good aggressive play, isn't it? I've worked with Nishal up in Punjab region. He's a lot younger man and definitely a different hairstyle, but I spent time on the grass with him. Obviously a really step up now for him in class and quality and consistency, as we've said, for a Mumbai City side, but same for Kashi as well. Consistency in this shorter season, be able to try and back up performances. But I know he'll play that will relish that physical duel, that battle, that physical contact.
Two challenges flying in early on. Looks like a windy evening in Kolkata. You see the fluffy mics around the pitch also picking up some of the wind. Pasi's jersey as well flying, so the temperature must have cooled down a little bit. And good defending from City as well. Really wasteful from the goalkeeper. There's no race. This time the wind working in Mumbai City's favour. Ortiz into a great little position. And then just ran out of ideas. Naufal picks it up. Swing of the leg from Chikara, possibly handball. That's what they were asking for. Eventually referee said no, corner coming.
Yeah, it was interesting that they didn't go for the long throw with Akash Mishra. It was a short throw taken, and obviously they got it into the box. It was a melee of bodies. There was tackles flying in. It might even have been a little bit of handball as well. Nothing was given by the referee. It all ends up in a corner, as I said, and I've kind of waxed lyrical about so far. It's going to be really interesting how they set up for these corners and these set pieces, especially in these blustery conditions. But before that, looks like we're going to need a little bit of attention. Disappointing I just said how much of a tough man he is, but looks like there's real damage done to Nishal Chandan there.
He has continued to stay down as well. Tough start for the referee as well, Surajit Das. Game's been played at a higher tempo, but still waiting for something quality. And a lot of rule changes coming up for treatment on the pitch. I wonder whether referees have taken all of that into account, because he should be moved off the playing area if he needs to be treated this way.
Yeah, I know his management staff, Antonio Lopez Havas, he'll be absolutely seething now, because one of his biggest strengths in terms of defending set plays, his big giant centre back, is now going to be off the pitch for 30 seconds while they have to defend this corner. It's one thing that you have your set plays. You'll have worked on them yesterday. You'll have pinned them up in the changing room. He'll know his role specifically. I know they've got a more zonal system, so they're kind of marking, occupying areas of space then rather than marking an individual. But he's going to be a huge miss on this occasion. Allows Mumbai City to maybe get an extra body in the box. Tries create a little bit more chaos. As it also looks like the wind's causing a little bit of chaos for us here as well.
It is. Yeah, surprising and sudden. Yeah, one of the nets have come off, and there's always a net camera, which is what they're trying to protect at this point. That's what gives you a lot of the nice angles of the good goals. Played short by Ortiz and sent in with some pace. Kauko. Very cleverly done for Naufal. Ball came in and a lot of pace, and Changte was there, but difficult to control that in a first-time finish.
Yeah, Johnny Kauko's got that in his locker, hasn't he? Sometimes plays as that kind of destroyer, that holding midfielder, but he does have the quality for a pass, and if you know, like the threat you've got from Naufal on the side, he just plays him through. But really interesting decision on the corner to try and go short, especially with Kashi having one man less in the box. He thought they might have played it in and try and got first contact. Looks like there might just be a slight delay as well while the goal's getting repaired.
It's probably coming off some kind of discussion. Wonder whether there's been lightning or not, or if the pause is just for the camera to be fixed. It's just for the camera, hopefully. There's been a couple of stoppages to what had been a decent first 10 minutes. Never seen this one happen though, Andy, for the net cam specifically.
No, and it looks like part of the damage was also just keeping the tension of the net as well. The post that holds the camera also keeps the net tight. Everything's been resolved and we're back underway.
It was resolved quicker than Nishchal Chandan and his injury.
Yeah, one thing we've noticed so far with Habba's side, direct, aren't they, from goal kicks? There's no playing around from the back and trying to build up possession. They put it straight on top of the opponent. This occasion, Mumbai City not able to get the first contact, but it's a free header, but all the way through to the goalkeeper and able to play it straight back out. Lachempo obviously had that good start last week, but conceded 2 of the goals. A very difficult situation for him as well.
Naufal stopped once more. Just keeping an eye on how Mumbai City are also defending with Akash Mishra so narrow and closer to the centre backs. Maybe in build-up they are pushing, and Naufal, of course, and Changte slightly wider, but even Valpuya's stretching play on one side. We'll take a look at that later on when they have a chance to build up play again. Let's see what Mishra can offer. Yeah, too much on that pass. More hopeful than anything else. Nice pick up this. And Kashi just waiting for some kind of break going forward, some kind of positive momentum, but it's getting stopped every time they run into a light blue jersey as Ortiz tries to play that through the middle. It might just stop for Changte as well. Mumbai City making the most of the wind, and Chikara's missed from very close in. Big chance. Ortiz, Changte, Chikara all involved.
Yeah, into Kashi, they're absolutely adamant it's offside, aren't they? As that ball's got played through, you have to say it looked like the wind had affected it, because it looked like it was going to go really quickly out of play. But it's a lovely little ball just through, just played on the outside of the right foot, and it looks like on the opposite side. It's Summit Passy playing him onside. The ball just gets cut back, as we say, holds up in the wind just before the delivery. But Inter Kashi need to try and get themselves back in this game. Not had a lot of possession, not had a lot of territory.
Quick flick on, and ran out of space in the end with Danu. But when the wind is in their favour, that's what they will be looking for. Just take a couple of shots towards Lachenpa. It's not going to be easy for him with the ball moving.
No, it's a clear style, isn't it? Up and in, try and get a little bit of territory, try and get the ball played in the opposition half, especially in these conditions. And this is where we see the difference for a Mumbai City side. Content to try and play the ball a bit longer from goal kicks now, not play short, not try and work the ball up the pitch with short passes. A little bit more direct, get the first and second contacts, then try and get the ball down into them key players in the wide areas, Chante being one, especially on that right-hand side.
Again, looking for that flick on. Petkevicius had gone up. And Luanga sweeps up the loose ball. Chante, nice turn. And a quick release for Naufal. And keeps it in play as well. Ortiz. That just went up and up.
I think the initial move will be really pleasing for Peter Kratky in terms of that, just rolling inside from Chante. You're a winger, but you can roll inside and receive the ball back to goal. Love a little turn away and then able to switch play, get it out wide into an area. Naufal, we've said, obviously is in good form, his confidence is high, able to try and beat his man, and then just not able to, when reverse the ball inside, to get the shot off. But you can see it's a clear style of play from Mumbai City FC. They have these two centre midfielders just protecting that back four, and then they've got a lot of creativity higher up the pitch. Interesting for Chikara as well, obviously big boots to fill today, and see how he can work against two really kind of strong, solid centre backs for Inter Kashi.
Prabir Das's first involvement. He needs a good game as well. One of the old Abbas favourites when he was with the Mariners. Prabir Das down the right with Roy Krishna running down the middle. And it's a searing image of the Abbas days. Hasn't had a season as good as that one, Prabir Das. Had a couple of clubs, but hasn't really settled. He'll be hoping he has one more successful campaign in his career.
Yeah, I think as the wind settles down, it's going to be an interesting battle in this centre midfield. Tom Basing yet to really get in.
Tomba and Lamas both just have to impose themselves on Yonikauko and Luanga. A little risky, that pass. Picked up by Yamas. And now Danu. This is much better from Inter Kashi, just trying to settle into some kind of rhythm. Sumit Basi over the top.
Let it go, let it go.
Habas just asking for more movement. Ortiz, little slip. Sumit passes onto it quickly. And then tried to cross it in with two arriving late. And Moya was right next to him, but could have darted inside as well. Offered a third option for Sumit Pasi to pick out. That's exactly the movement which let Petkevicius find him for that goal he scored a couple of games ago. Wayne Vaz into the channel. It's a smart ball. Much better from Interkashi over the last few minutes. Abbas likes it as well. Tomba trying to turn past Luanga, didn't really work out. And here's Chang there. It's got Valpuya. Akash Mishra over the top. Lots of possession for Mumbai City, that was expected, but Interkashi just slowly working themselves into the game as well. They also have to start treating this as their home. Abbas very happy to be back in Kolkata, as you heard in the pre-match interview. He's got some great memories here. He'll be hoping he can create some for this new side as well.
Yeah, I absolutely loved his response to the question. He just brought a big beaming smile on his face when they mentioned Kolkata back to him. Obviously a place that he knows and loves really well. I don't think a lack of possession will really bother him. I think he's very pragmatic and forward thinking, and he'll think while all the play is in front of them, they're not really hurting his side, so he won't be too disappointed. I know he's an animated figure and he's a passionate figure on that touchline, but it's not been raining chances for Mumbai City FC so far, and I think the chances that they've had are limited. They just need to try and get a little bit more pressure on the ball. One thing they could be guilty of being a little bit passive in these occasions and just allowing them to play through them too easy. Maybe if they can just stretch the pitch, stretch up the pitch, make it a little bit more compact back to front, it might give them a chance of regaining a lot quicker.
Valpuya got all of the ball in that challenge. You were just mentioning about Yoni Kauko and Luanga against Tomba and Sergio Ramos, and it's been better from the home team over the last few duels.
Yeah, I think a really organised side in terms of, especially Kauko. I think he's really aggressive in what he does. He doesn't maybe cover him out of distance. I think he's probably a better player to watch when you're live in a stadium and you can see his movements. But one thing I've noticed, he's always got his head on the swivel, just always turning. There's brilliant videos of some of the best centre midfielders in the world just scanning and checking all around him all the time, and one thing he seems to do is manage distances between his players really well.
Slightly flat from Tares. This is the narrow three-man setup I was talking about, Andy. And you can see Akash Mishra so close to Max.
Yeah, it's a real interesting one, because it actually means that Noful is obviously coming a little bit deeper to try and get on the ball, where traditionally you'd want him to get really high on that last line and obviously give his opposite fullback, Sumit Passy, a real problem on that occasion. But they're using him just to get a little bit of good possession to try and step in. A little bit how Sporting Club Delhi got that goal last Sunday against them when they went to a back three, and the left-sided centre-back just able to step in really high and drive with the ball and get in almost into the box on occasions.
And that's for Mandi and Sumit Passy to take just a little more risk when they go forward, because those channels might be left empty. Very different with Interkashi. You can see the more spacing between the back four as they move it from side to side.
I think one thing you can see, they do get a little bit bit disorganised if Intakashi can have a little bit more possession. Chikara isn't quite as disciplined as we've seen in terms of that top line. He's drifting a little bit, doesn't really know who to press, and that is leaving some little gaps. Tomba not particularly getting on the ball as much, but it's leaving the both centre-backs from Intakashi able to try and get on the ball and then step out. As we can see, a brilliant spot here with a little bit of a tactical tweak, just building up with a back three. Able to push the opposite full-back on the right-hand side up here a little bit higher up. And that just allows Chante, where we've got that little pocket of positioning that we saw earlier, just to roll inside and receive it like he did really well.
Ortiz, nicely taken. And Naufal is in some space now. Just cutting back onto his right side. Naufal sets up Chikara, who went for one more pass when he could have just turned and taken a shot himself, and that's what a proper number 9 would have done. He said he was looking for Chante, and the chance is gone.
Yeah, it's a really well-worked move, and you know that man is going to cut inside, get it onto the right foot. You'd have to say it's a big moment because he turned his back towards goal to try and lay it off. Chante coming in on that far post, but it might have just been better just to keep it on his left and have a low strike at goal straight away. It's not often you get almost unmarked 7 or 8 yards out of the box, outside of the 6-yard box, just wasn't able to redirect it into goal.
Best opportunity for Mumbai City, just in terms of a clear-cut chance to take a shot on goal. And Chikara and his inexperience, as well as the fact that Chante was just behind him, as sometimes we see younger strikers, especially younger Indian strikers, deferring to a player who might be a more seasoned pro when it comes to scoring goals. But Chante's advice to Chikara would have been the same. Should have gone for it. Ortiz trying to turn away. So good at that.
Yeah, we spoke about it earlier. With obviously Intakashi playing such flat 4-4-2, there is space between what we call lines, between units, to try and pick up the ball. And he's one of the masters of that so far, in terms of being able to try and receive it on the half turn and go forward. Not the first time, and I'd probably no doubt say not the last time he's going to be able to get a little bit of an ankle tap as he tries and get wriggles away from whoever the closest man is marking him.
And first drinks break of the evening, and Peter Kratky's hardly gotten off his seat. For Antonio Lopez Abbas, he had to urge the team to get into the game, and ever since he's done that, they've looked like a much better side. He's probably spotting the gaps which a lot of us can't see, and Abbas can. And Naufal's also been really good down one wing. He's been the main outlet, trying to find Chante on that occasion. Got lucky on this one, but also making the most of whatever space has been afforded to him. The fact that Sumit Pasi is already on a yellow card could be something that comes into play, as well as he tried to find Chikara, who could have taken a shot on that last chance creation.
I think the challenging part now for Mumbai City is just keep feeding him the ball, isn't it? That's going to be the challenge in terms of how they get the ball to him with such space, so he doesn't receive it so deep. And for Intakashi, Sumit Pasi, Wayne Vasu seems to have to go over and cover for him on occasions. If they do double up, probably as we've seen, sometimes jumps to go and press, especially as they're kind of building up with that narrow back three. Akis Mishra is playing a little bit deeper and a little bit narrow. So if they kind of do jump and leave that space, it means there's a little bit of lack of cover there. And if it takes 2 players to take the left winger out of the game, then obviously it opens up a little bit of space in the middle, like we saw for the brilliant opportunity only a couple of minutes ago.
Kauko. Mumbai City patient again. Here's Mishra. Chante. Still in search for a gap to play this forward. The gap was quickly closed down. This is when Kashi would like to pounce. Petkevich's. Sergio Lamas. Moya. He's got pressure from Naufal. Opened it down the right for Prabir Das, who should have been more aware of that run that had to be made. It was the most obvious option.
Yeah, it was a sign of things to come, I think, for Kashi. They dropped off a little bit deeper, more compact. Prabir Das on that occasion jumping out, pressing, winning the ball back, and then obviously Alfred Moya there, a little bit of tidy feet, quick feet to get away. Overhit the pass slightly, but different players on different wavelength. You saw Abbas there just racing back towards his seat, gesturing, frustrated. But it looks like they have organised themselves a little bit differently coming out from this drinks break. Distance between the deepest player and the highest player now a little bit more compact and organised, and trying to get a little bit more pressure on the ball.
Nicely played by Valpuya to find Chante, who's found Ortiz. Lovely setup for Chikara. Got the shot wrong. Here's Johnny Kauko. Teasing ball in towards Chante, and Luis Taras had to fly with both his arms out.
Yeah, and they've been the type of goals that Kashi have conceded. As I said, it was 2 wide free kicks. This time it's from open play, but it's the same type of area. We've seen Luis Taras just loves to leave his line and have that kind of handball style goalkeeping attempt towards the back post. He's been caught out in a couple of games so far. I think the referee's assistant did give the corner. It was overruled, and the referee then decided to take the goal kick.
Petkevich's. Kako had to stretch. Smartly done by Valpuya. When they get it right though, Andy, Valpuya's ball for Chante, then the ball in towards Ortiz, the setup. When they get all those movements right, Mumbai City look very good on the eye. It's about how often they can do it.
Yeah, spoke in the opening kind of part of the game. I just think they'll be so disappointed in just a lack of consistency, because they can really cut teams open with some really line-breaking, penetrative passes through the lines and little good combinations, 1 and 2 touch play. Really impressed with them, but they just don't be able to back it up consistently, and that's obviously going to hurt if you're not able to back up the type of work that you're doing all the time. They're a little bit sloppy sometimes when they get the ball back and just not able to cut teams apart. And we saw the put, obviously, Sporting Club Delhi to the sword for 35 minutes, but it's just not enough. They could have been out of sight with the quality that they had. They're just not able to kind of work full games. It's just short moments of games, but it might be enough to get them a goal lead here, but it's not been enough to see games out.
It's too short from Mishra, easily picked up. And then Ortiz had to help out, just took it away from Moya. Sandeep Mandi urged to carry the ball forward, but then the impending pass was so disappointing.
Yeah, that's when there's a striker, it's so hard, so frustrating. You've got that front two. Saying that, it looks like Alfred Moya's just dropping a little bit deeper, so almost like a 4-5-1 when they don't have the ball, maybe to try and help protect Prabir Das a little bit more from getting the ball out into Naufal on this left-hand side. But yeah, they're on completely different wavelengths, working so hard, only have 36% possession, and then when you do, you're on a different wavelength to your striker who's come short and you'd hit it straight long.
And flag went up against Naufal.
He's not a player you want to get on the wrong side of too much, but so much time and space on the ball. He'd be disappointed that his winger just wanted a better position. On them occasions, try and buy yourself a little bit more time by just holding your run, by going wider, to be able to see all the way down the line. Then you can always dart inside towards the ball. But almost a straight run to a straight pass is really hard to try and keep your distance and not straight offside. Really frustrating if you're in that midfield kind of quarterback role, trying to pull the strings of a side.
Just been very tactical so far this game. They're cancelling each other out. Otherwise, it's been a good couple of match days, of course, for the neutral. Mohun Bagan Supergiant and Jamshedpur dropping points. This means that the title race is slightly open now.
Yeah, we've got an opportunity now. If you don't have much of the ball, if we just touched on these type of moments that are becoming more and more important, critical in football all around the world. It's a hot topic of debate. France League trying to get organised at these set pieces.
And Sergio Lamas is going to take this one.
Stay strong, stay tight. Come on.
Sent in into a good area as well. So a foul just as the ball was dropping in.
Yeah, same setup that we've seen from them so far this season, isn't it? Right-footed, away swing. Minimum of 6 players in the box, sometimes 7 with that little late runner, but they don't group together and then disperse off and find different pockets. They almost go as individuals into different areas straight away. That occasion, the referee spotted something off the ball and feels that as the ball was travelling, there was someone being impeded.
7 shots from Mumbai City, just the one on target, but not a single shot or attempt from Kashi. And that's the disappointing bit. It's always good to have a tester out of the way, even if it's from distance.
Yeah, just looking pre-game at the game so far this season, the 4 that they played, they're averaging 9 shots per game. Kashi averaging 12 shots against. I went through and had a look at where these shots are coming from. Mainly from crosses, getting the ball in, get up to the strikers, getting the ball out wide. 13 crosses going in the box per game. And obviously most of the goals have come from direct play, a little bit longer onto. It looks like they're going to get another opportunity to get the ball in the box here.
Yeah, just some confusion. Vijay Chetri knew exactly what he was doing. Another corner. Now this is a good chance for Kashi to put a pin in Peter Crackley's half-time team talk.
Yeah, interesting setup. We'll see the right-footed, so it'll be in-swing on this occasion. But just have a look how Kashi, they'll all separated to different areas and attack different zones of this Mumbai City box.
That's a very interesting tactic. Destabilizing for the back line to figure out where to go to mark. There's 3 on Wayne Vaz, but that means there are some open spaces, some players open. Sergio Lamas had to be a better delivery. In some space now, shot came in from Sumit Pasi. Pasi once more. Tomba. Turns a throw in.
Yeah, it's a real mix of styles. Notice Peter Crackley in terms of defending these corners. He brings every player back. No outlet if the ball gets played up to. All 10 outfielders backing and around the box defending. As it looks like we're going to have cleaner the ball, getting any moisture off, and Vishal Chandan's going to put one of these rockets into the box. Long throw coming up.
Nice and flat as well. Good ball to attack that. And then Sergio Lamas with a shot. There they have it. First one on target, straight to Lachenpa.
It's good solid handling, isn't it? Lachenpa comes through a string of bodies. As you can see, the ball's come in, and if anything, even if it's not the flattest or the quickest or the most deadliest long throw, it causes absolute chaos. And it results in the first shot on target for an Kashi side just before the break. Give them a little bit of confidence. They've had the last 5 minutes spent in Mumbai City's defensive third. Just got to remain compact and organised now in this shape. You know they're looking to play on the counter-attack.
Nafal once more. He's got support. Ortiz picks it up. Good looking ball. Cleared away. Possibly need to get a little more of chunk there down the other side as well. Ortiz being closer to Nafal means a lot of attacking intent is coming down one wing for Mumbai City, not the other.
One thing you'd have to say, it's a tough job. Petkavicius, the lone striker up there, look a little bit of a change of shape with Alfred Moya just dropping off a little bit, but he's not able to press all back three or back four of the Mumbai City side as they casually just knock the ball around and almost cutting a lone figure there, and he's got to try and secure it when it comes back up his way as well. It's a really difficult moment. You can see as soon as they turn the ball over, he's trying to break and get in behind the Mumbai City back line.
Prabir Das loses out. It looks like Nafal was caught just as Prabir tried to hook the ball away from him.
Yeah, it just looks like he gets caught, doesn't he, just as he's turning. I don't know if it was actually the contact or whether he just rolled the ankle in the turf just as he turned. Obviously, very quick, low centre of gravity when he's trying to twist and turn to get away from Prabir Das there on that occasion. It just looked like he rolled his ankle a little bit rather than it being any major contact.
A little too sporting from Kashi as well. Didn't really have to stop play. 4 minutes added on. A couple of injuries. A little bit of problem with the net in the earlier stages of the game.
Take your time.
And neither of the two teams have been convincing in a way which allows us to choose a favourite for this one. Not yet, at least. A free kick given for that.
I think there's no doubt in working out what Habas thought of that. And it looks like there's going to be a yellow card. I don't know if that's going to go to Prabir Das or it's going to go to somebody from the technical area from Kashi. Look, it's gone from Prabir Das either for the challenge or something said to the referee. He's clearly aggrieved what was given against him.
Yeah, it is Prabir Das. So both the players down the right, Sumit Pasi and Prabir Das, are on a warning. And now Habas is possibly also going to get warned. Did he pull the red one out of the back pocket? Doesn't look like it. Habas has to be a little careful. Which he's not being. I think he's been sent off. He's been sent off for saying something to the referee. He's going off. And just because he saw a glimmer of the red card being put in the back pocket of the referee, and that's when he thought, well, somebody's been sent off, and it was Habas. That's a big miss now, given how involved he was in everything Kashi were doing, but he said something and off he goes. Here's Chang there. Still 11v11 on the pitch. through the legs of Sergio Lamas. Ortiz with a hit, one bounce and straight to the keeper.
Yeah, again, it was great close control, wasn't it? It's got really fractious and broken, hasn't it? The last couple of minutes, it looks like they were aggrieving some decision made recently. Just wasn't able to get the quality of strike. But again, it's brilliant play just to get in the little bit of space just between that back line and midfield of Kashi. Going back to Habas, there definitely was a gesture obviously made towards the official that he thought the foul was given was a dive, for sure. That was clear. The kind of worldwide sign for, recognised sign for diving, but they're not clearly off the back of that. Something's got to have been said for him to be sent to the stands. I did notice his technical team do have radio comms down there, so whether he can get on the walkie-talkie, on the mics and get some tactical information down in the second half from the stands.
Petkevicius just asking for an earlier ball from him. Can Mumbai City break forward? Chante. Just slowing things down. It's been a little frustrating for both the teams. The first 45. Ortiz has been a bright spot. Naufal with a few chances. Chikara with a couple of swings of his right boot. Nothing meaningful yet. Kauko, wonderful direction on that. Sits up right in front of Valpuya, taken away at the last moment. So last play in this half is going to be a corner for City.
That's where they're tactically very good. See Chante rolling inside, giving space for the fullback Valpuya just to go higher on the last line, and it's a really well worked ball, isn't it? Brilliant diagonal switch of play. And this is where you're going to see something you don't see too often in terms of the setup. No players are going to be man-marked at all in the box. Everyone's going to be zonal. Everyone has an area that they've got to dominate when it comes into. No players are going to be man-marked, tightly held or grappled in there. You've just got to go and attack your space, while Chante's obviously going to rifle this ball in, left-footed in swing.
Chante's ball in. Oh, causes problems and has been bundled into the back of their own net, has it? Naufal claiming to get the final touch. And Mumbai City get a goal right at the stroke of half-time. And what a time to score. And with the way he's celebrating, it looks like he does have his goal, Naufal. And Mumbai City make it 1-0. Let's take a look again.
Yeah, you can see we talked about zonal marking. The zonal marking, the danger of that is that players don't have a responsibility for each other. So nobody was there was picking up the man who's in form, the man who's set the league game alight last week against Sporting Club Delhi. Naufal able to try and poke the ball home, but it's because no one was able to take responsibility. A mixture of that zonal marking and man-to-man might prevent that. But at the moment, not able to get first contact as it drops down, and the contact, Naufal just able to prod the ball home. Another one to add to his tally.
Smart little finish. He gets his second goal of the season. And a very important one, because now it might just open up. Kashi will be forced to come at Mumbai City. And by that, Habas red card will surely have affected them. He will not be there to give that team talk. So at the break, it's Kashi 0, Mumbai City 1.
Picture. Dari cara kan.
Welcome back. Not a lot of goal mouth action, but we've had a goal right at the stroke of half-time with Naufal smartly turning it in from a corner. If you take a look at the highlights, Mumbai City possibly had the more openings. This one for Chikara early on, as Shante tried to find him a few times. The striker looking for his first Indian Super League goal. And Takashi slowly coming into this. This was the yellow card for Sumit Pasi. Eventually, that's not the card that made the halftime headlines. That was another colour, and for Habas. But this is the kind of game it's been, Andy.
Yeah, it hasn't really settled, has it? It's been a game of limited chances, a little bit fractious at times with the yellow cards. We'd have to say Mumbai have had the better of the chances and obviously got that goal just before the break. I think the real clear part was just how good they are going forward. They do have that quality, but just weren't quite clicking. Although there was a number of threatening moments where you thought they might just be able to cut a resolute into Kashi side open, who really haven't had much going forward, but have been quite resolute at the back until later on in the half.
Naufal busy as usual. And Yoni Kauko also took some time to come into this, but that's the kind of ball that Interkashi will actually know he's so good at delivering. A couple of moments for Interkashi, as well as they tried to squeeze this one in. Sergio Lamas straight at Lachenpa as the only shot on target they've had, and that is the one disappointing factor. Now this is what happened. Prabir Das was a free kick was given for that moment. Abbas argued in a straight red card from referee Surajit Das for Habas, and that happened just before this moment.
Yeah, we did say it was going to be a battle of set pieces, and on this occasion it was zonal marking. There were 6s and 7s, and the quality of Mumbai City from their set pieces shone through.
Just taking a look at the match statistics as well. Mumbai City with, of course, more of the ball, but it's the attempts that Interkashi need to get close in terms of the numbers. 9-2, not enough at home. And possibly that attacking intent is what Habas and his staff will want to see as we look at this corner. Opportunistic, but he was in the right place and he knew exactly how to flick it past Luis Tares.
Yeah, it's 10v7 in the box in the defensive team's favour into Kashi, but they just were all over the place in terms of who's responsible for getting on the first contact. And it just fell to that goal poacher, didn't it? Now full in front of the goalkeeper, just able to steer the ball past Luis Tares, who didn't really know what was coming, but was trying to appeal for an offside as well.
A couple of shots, a couple of key passes, he'll be happy with that. Maybe the crossing can be slightly better. Something we said about Naufal for some times, and surely they're working on it. Jorge Ortiz, though, he's been playing in all the gaps that Interkashi are allowing him, and he's so good with the close control. He's been pulling the strings, as the bug tells you.
Yeah, able to pick up the ball between the lines and try and receive it in tight areas. He's drawn a lot of fouls, and I just love the way he plays the ball with the outside of the foot without breaking stride. And I think a lot of the Interkashi team have just taken just a kick in him to get him on the ground to try and stop his influence in games.
Got this shot away as well. And testing Tares. Decent numbers, and he's so important to the way Mumbai City want to break down their opponents. Winning 4 duels, that's a good one. And a lot of ball carrying is expected from the number 11. On the other side, the Rohit Danu hasn't had a lot of joy. We have seen already that he's been maturing over the last few games, but needs to do more.
Yeah, I do like him as a player, but had very little service, hasn't he? Found it really difficult to be able to get what he wants, which is forward facing and running at the fullbacks of Mumbai City FC. It's a big half for him because he does have all the potential to try and hurt teams, but just hasn't been able to get the ball in the opposition half and run at the fullbacks as much as he would want.
Substitutions can have a big effect on the game, of course. The likes of Vikram Pratap Singh for Mumbai City, he's an option. Gyamar Nikum is on the bench for this one. On the other side, some pace in Prashant, experience in Jayesh Rane. I wonder what both the head coaches will do. We'll take a short break and come back with the second half. Welcome back into Kashi with just the one shot on target. And that is after they frustrated Mumbai City for long periods. But Mumbai City continued to just keep scraping and scraping until they found a little opening, after which they scored via Nofal. Valpuya just reminding the side to keep their heads in this. Concentration has been a problem for them. They took a 2-0 lead against SC Delhi and then allowed them to fight back. Abbas may not be on the pitch after being sent off, but he's made his change. Prashant does come on for Prabir Das, who in all honesty did not have the best half of. So that was an obvious change he had to make. Prashant probably offers more dynamism and more directness down the wings. 1-0, but Mumbai City will be very careful of what Kashi can do.
Yeah, I think it's a really bright, intelligent change, isn't it? Prasant obviously has the goal already this season, 3 starts, he's had an impact, and I think the longer it went and you saw the tactical battle that was going to happen, and they maybe need a little bit of legs, they need a little bit of energy higher up the pitch to try and get up the pitch for Kashi. For Mumbai City, it's just about connecting them dots. They're just a little bit inconsistent, but when they do turn it on, they play some really good stuff. They're just not able to be at full flow at the moment, and that's probably down to a well-drilled, well-organised Kashi side that are, very good without the ball and organised without the ball, but do find it hard when they've got the ball to try and create any chances.
The one big difference, though, from last season is in games like this one, particularly, Mumbai City would end up looking a little clueless. Didn't know what to do, didn't know what pattern to use, didn't know how to break down an opposition, didn't have a plan B. But Peter Kratky seems to have worked on it. And despite not being at their fluid best, they continue to create these half chances and keep the opponents on their toes. And that's what they've been doing differently this term. And it has been working. The first 2 wins, the 1-0s, were very much like that. The 2 draws, yes, they paid for a lapse in focus. But it's good to see Mumbai City get the lead even when they're not at their best. Here's Naufal. Really elaborate on that point and what Andy thinks of how Mumbai City look slightly different in this particular season. Naufal once more. Ortiz. Smart ball towards Shankte. It's on his strong side. Strong defending in the end. A free kick given against City as well.
That's where you want Chante, don't you? Just rolling inside, just not hanging out wide as a winger, but just getting close to the second striker, Chikara, as possible, able to try and receive it in a tight space. But yeah, going back to your point about Mumbai City, it must be really frustrated. Peter Kratky looked really brilliant at times. Then last week they were just outfought last Sunday against Sporting Club Delhi. Thomas Torres, the young, impressive coach, changed that formation. He went to 3 at the back. He caused Mumbai City all types of problems from a position of real strength. They didn't have any answers, and to be a fly on the wall in the Mumbai City dressing room at half-time, working out, trying to get that message across, making sure that they're not susceptible again, that they stay strong, that the big thing for them, they've got to control the game by having the ball. They've got to get their patterns of play and work their opportunities, get the ball to the game-changing players. We know Chante, Nofal on this left-hand side, really strong players for them. Just not fall into the traps of last week.
Here's Tomba. Smart ball looking for Petkevicius, but he was squeezed between the 2 centre-backs. They managed to keep Moya and Petkevicius quiet. And that's one big credit to Mumbai City's backline and the midfield as well.
Yeah, for a front 2, it can be a lonely place when you're not having much of the ball. You've got to do more running and more pressing than you do have, be able to try and link up play. So it's important that they don't get disheartened. It might just be that one moment, that one opportunity. We saw it could come through, for example, a Nishal Chandan long throw. It might come from a set piece. They've just got to make sure that to stay ready and stay alert. Anything that can try and sniff out any half chance.
It's gone against Intakashi, the decision. Prashant's not happy. But you can see the immediate impact. He's going to carry the ball every time he gets it, take on the fullback, create a crossing opportunity. All things which Prabir Das could not manage in the first 45.
Prabir Das struggled a little bit, didn't he, with his pressing? I mean, it was clever tactical play by Mumbai City in terms of Akash Mishra playing a little bit more narrow, and they just got it the ball too easily on too many occasions, and no full on that left-hand side. And obviously, Prabir Das is the one who pays the price. They've gone for another attacking option, someone who's had an impact so far in this season. I have to say, Peter Crackey's sat down more than I've seen him do so far this season. He's normally very animated up and down that touchline, but seems to be a little bit more reserved and chilled in that technical area. A little different to obviously his opposite number, Habas, who's watching the second half in the stands.
Just seems more confident in his game plan. Had to battle a lot of comparisons with the former head coach Des Buckingham, but eventually has been allowed the time as well to make his case. This is the live table. It stays like this. Mumbai City up to 11 points after 5 games. That's not too far from Mohun Bagan and Jamshedpur. There had to be a third team in the mix, otherwise those two were running away. Here's Danu. Betkevicius. Good play to find Mandi. Good ball as well. Wonderful work. What a brilliant goal from Rohit Danu to bring in Takashi back into this. He doesn't score too many with his feet, even fewer with his head, but Rohit Danu has come into his own this season, and he'll be hoping this is the campaign where people take notice. 1-1 and a perfect time to score for the home side.
Oh, we highlighted him at half-time, said we needed a little bit more out of him, and what we don't see earlier on, that he's the one who started the move, able to regain the ball, play the ball out wide. We said they averaged 13 crosses so far this season per game, and that's an absolute brilliant one. It's a peach of a ball. Obviously the fullback, Mandi, able to get high and wide and deliver. He was just asking to be ahead. It was on a plate. And as we said, he's not got prowess for his headed goals, but it's a brilliant one. Gets his side back in. What a brilliant time to score. Just only 6 minutes into the second half, gets his side straight back in the game.
Fantastic response from Intakashi. It's the first time that Mandi's actually gone that high up the pitch and had the room to deliver something. And Danu will be particularly proud of beating a very experienced player like Nuno Reis in the air. Here comes Johnny Kauko. Wonderful pass, poked forward. Ortiz is just behind Chikara, but Changte can smash that into the back of the net. Mumbai City thought that if Intakashi can respond like that, and they can do the same. A third goal for Changte this season. And with the flag staying down, Mumbai City created the perfect opening. And after 45 frustrating minutes, we've seen some very good ones in this second period.
Oh, to be a head coach, to be a manager, you just chuck all your plans away, don't you? You settle your side down after a chess match of a first half, and it's goals galore. We talked about Chante rolling in from the wing and being a real threat, working closer a little bit to Chikara, and you can see them both in the box. But it's that man gets the left foot finish. It looked like the Intakashi side had stopped for some kind of whistle, and there was a little bit of confusion, but no doubt about it, Mumbai City get the goal, get themselves noses in front, but the game has really opened up here.
Very entertaining start. Oh, that's a big mistake. And Moya sidesteps once and then takes a hit straight to Lachenpa. Shots flying around now.
Yeah, the tactical battle's gone out the way. It's end to end. It's a game of transition. No real control from either side.
Sergio Lamas takes this. Cleared away by Bijoy. Danu confident and testing Lachenpa.
I think the one risk, if you do bring everyone back like Mumbai City do for corners, is that you've no outlet. So when that ball got cleared, it was always going to happen that Kashi were able to try and get the ball back into the box or even to play it wide for another cross. They'll leave no outlet. Peter Kratky obviously has his style, has his way, and feels that he just wants to get a little bit of defensive organisation. You can see no full breaks again.
What a place to win the ball back. Can he create another opening? Naufal trying to test Luis Tares, who was well placed and safe with his hands. Possibly needed more zing in the shot as well, Naufal. It's a bit helter-skelter now. Here's Danu. Tomba. Lamas. Sandeep Mandi invited to cross it in. Needed more spin.
I think on that occasion, you may be just encouraging Sandeep Mandi on that, just to keep going, keep driving with it, try and entice a play out and see if there's a little bit of movement ahead of the ball. Just went for the early cross in. Obviously, the success of his last ball, who am I to say he needs to change, but the quality wasn't quite there on that occasion. But what brilliant link-up play it was, Danu. Sandeep Mandi for that goal, brilliant cross in and the brilliant header, but before we could catch our breath, the ball was straight up back at the other end, and that front three have been lively and a threat for Mumbai City, and obviously Chant hit that on that occasion just to lash the ball home from close range.
Shankar did not have eyes on the ball. Immediate free kick given. And he's the man in charge now, Carlos Fonseca. Abbas's assistant.
Yeah, well-travelled assistant coach, isn't he? From Madrid. My only fascinating fact about him, he does have a Spanish book that he launched that it translates in English to "Do We Talk About Football?" And I'd suggest we probably do too much at times, but what a brilliant game this is. Game for everyone. Beautiful game, the world game, and obviously someone who's passionate about it, worked in multiple countries. He's well-travelled and he's got a job to do here. No doubt there's some communication up from the stands in terms of his big boss getting the communication down, but he's got to keep rallying his troops and get a reaction here.
You're just noticing the book as well, written by Mr. Fonseca. I wonder if he's gifted one to Habas. Here's Shankar meanwhile. Wonderful ball for Ortiz, who is offside.
Yeah, typical player there, isn't it? He's absolutely adamant he's not offside. Neither is his head coach, Peter Kratky. But the tempo's increased. We can't even catch our breath. The ball's back in the opposition's final third straight away. Into Kashi, take the ball up the other end. It's end to end. Almost the tactical plan's gone out the window.
Excellent feet once more from Ortiz. Petkovicius. He must have been desperate to get a shot away. Had a frustrating evening so far, the striker.
Yeah, and that can happen. We talked about that earlier on, just before the game rained with goals, that you cut the lonely figures. We can see this challenge come in, a really robust challenge, two players fully committed for the ball. But you've worked that lone striker role for 50 minutes now, you get very little to work with. You've had to chase a lot of the ball with your team not having much possession, and then you have the wild shot 40 yards out, never going to challenge the goalkeeper from there. It's more out of frustration. You see Alfred Moyes just dropping a little bit deeper and deeper as the game goes on to try and get involved with the game.
Adventurous one from Moya as well. 1-2 with Petkevicius, and then out for Rohit Danu. Another decent ball in, needed a flick on from Moya, but Lachenpa favourite in the end. Good football from both the teams in terms of just looking forward and getting it right more often than not.
Yeah, it's good play. Alfred Moya, as we say, dropping deeper. He's not getting much of the ball as a double strike partner alongside Petkevicius, and on that occasion choosing to try and dribble and drive with the ball, gets the ball out wide and always going to cut back on his right foot. Rohit Danu full of confidence, a little bit frustrated with the quality of the ball in, obviously straight through to Lachenpa, who's able just to have a safe pair of hands and try and get his side a little bit more control.
Yes, so with Pasi. Nicely done to find Prashant. Lamas gives it away. Very casual, that pass. Kauko closed down. Lovely turn from Alfred Moya. And now Tomba takes a look and just drives it wide.
Yeah, better play, isn't it? A little bit on the turnover now, regaining the ball essentially and trying to punch the ball through. More influence in the game. Alfred Moya in the second half just releases it off to Tomba Singh. Very little impact so far in this game and just snatches at it, drags it horribly wide. Frustrated figure, but better play from Kashi now. Very little of the ball, but when they do have it, trying to drive forward a little bit more tempo too with them, a little bit more pace.
Lamas. Good to see Alfred Moya so involved now. Danu fancies himself up against Valpuya. Ball just went out. And then Moya shot just hitting Kauko in the back of his leg.
It looks like the referee, it was just a stern talking to. The one point there was a slight little gesture towards that top pocket, and I thought maybe there might have been a card produced. But good play, Danu again. Rohit Danu has been really aggressive in this half so far. We talked about it, we showed the evidence at half time of the impact it had. We asked for a little bit more, so much more quality and pace in that wide area that I noticed Mandy wasn't able to catch up. He looked to try and make the overlapping run, he wasn't able to get there, so just held fire, supported behind the ball instead.
It's flown past us the second half. It's exactly what you wanted from both the teams, and that's why this game needed a goal. And sometimes you watch a Bengaluru against Mohun Bagan and a 0-0 is fine when there's so many chances and openings. There are good 0-0s and bad ones. Beautiful pass that, spinning into the path of Rohit Danu, just a little too long. Moya once more, Kauko busy. Fell to Mandi, who's picked out the right option, the smart option. Lamas into the channel for Moya, who wants to turn. Just kept in play by Danu. Mandi needed a better touch. Ayush Chikara's back defending.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion whether the ball was out earlier on in the move, but you'd have to say Kashi they've got Alfred Moyer in the game now. He's kind of pulling the strings, most influential player. They're a goal down, but they're still creating opportunities through him. Everything that's good at the game comes through Alfred Moyer at the moment, dropping a little bit deeper into the game.
Chikara. Good break forward for Changte, who was pushed just as he was about to accelerate. Wayne Vaz says there wasn't much in it, and Mumbai City have a free kick from shooting range.
Yeah, I think that one would go down in the book nowadays as a tactical foul. It's one he's had to make to stop Chante getting through. To be honest, it looked like he might have been through on goal. Nishal Chandan was covering, but might have struggled to get there because Chante was away. Wayne Vaz just took that opportunity just to get a little bit of contact, a little bit of a shirt pull, a grab, a little bit of a nudge.
And Takashi have enjoyed a lot of possession going forward, especially in this half, and they've got to defend this. Changte and Ortiz both on this. Changte's favourite forward over the wall and just hitting the roof of the net. Nothing troublesome for Luis Tares.
No, and he hasn't been the most confident. We've said, obviously, we've got the penalty, which is a restart, but they haven't conceded from open play. All the goals they've conceded so far have been set plays, and that's been from wide free kicks. This one a little bit more central. But that man, Luis Tares, has really struggled to command his back post in the wide free kicks he's conceded in previous games. On that occasion, good management of his distances, knows where the ball was going, but a good sight for Chante. Will gain confidence from it.
But more touches in the opposition box now from Intakashi. One big chance that they've created. Just needed a bit of a wake-up call. And that was the Naufal goal just before half-time, and they've used it in the right way. Here's Danu. Passi and Sergio Lamas. Wayne Vaz with the lob. Now Mandi. Good play from Intakashi. Here's Alfred Moya. Petkevicius. Moya's coming back. Petkevicius wanted to find him. Did so by chance. Now finds Danu by design. And this time the number 9 has some more time. Lofted in. Eventually harmless.
It's a promising relationship, isn't it? Blossoming down that left-hand side. Rohit Danu's always looking to try and get the ball and cut back onto the right foot. Sandeep Mandi able to try and support him behind the ball as a really attack-minded defender at the moment. Get to that stage of the game, don't we? 60 minutes in, 65 minutes in, where head coaches are starting to scratch their head, look towards the bench, what further options have they got? Going back to Mumbai City, though, 21 touches so far in the opposition box. They've been averaging 15 so far in the previous 4 games that they've had. So an improvement on that, and obviously the more opportunities, the more touches you get, the more shots that you can try and create, the more shots on target, and ultimately the more goals. We've seen they've been clinical in the second half with the chance that they had.
Ortiz will be coming off for Vikram Pratap. Wonder how that changes the shape of the side, given that Naufal and Changte are also on the pitch. Vikram Pratap can easily double up as a striker as well. Likes playing centrally, but most of his impact comes when he's darting in at that far post. all the wide players on target in this one. Here's Danu. He's looking for more. Gets past Valpuya. And then he just had to make a decision, and you can hear his teammates just screaming at him to be quicker in his decision making inside the box.
Yeah, initially it's poor defending, isn't it? Valpuya gets beaten too easily, but the real positive sign for them as a team, Mumbai, is how quickly and how well he recovers. As we just look again, Danu is just really good low centre of gravity, able to shift that ball left or right and get in the Mumbai City box. As we look at the tactical change, you can see it looks like Chante's gone to play that attacking midfielder role. See, looks a little bit different. Pratap maybe playing that right-hand side on that right wing, maybe rolls inside a little like Chante did to the start of the game, and obviously the successful impact he had in the second half.
And there's more for the referee to do here. Luanga has stayed down.
I think he's another player who quietly goes about his business. Obviously plays against a really established and controlled centre midfielder, but he's got the creative vision, he's got good skill about him, he's combative in that midfield area. It looks like his race is run today, and looks like there's going to be further changes.
Zoltan Puya will be brought on. Of course, Luanga, Peter Kratky making a quick call. Another promising central midfielder. On the clock in terms of remaining minutes plus whatever is added on. Enough time for the scoreline to change a couple of times at least. Mumbai City looks slightly different now with Chante central, Vikram Pratap and Naufal both on the pitch. Chikara continues to lead the line. Zoltan Puya has been brought on. Just the one change from Kashi so far, and it was made as early as second half. They're under pressure here. Sandeep Mandi was not very strong, and then Tangthe, his attempt half across, half a shot, just fizzed across the face of goal in the end.
Yeah, for all his attacking prowess, Sandeep Mandi in the second half, defensively it has looked a little bit suspect and a little bit vulnerable. Admittedly, he's playing against a really high level calibre of wingers. Chante for the most part, Pratap now coming and playing on that right hand side, so he's keeping him honest, keeping him working hard, but another opportunity Mumbai City to get in behind and try and build another attack.
Naufal. Vaz once again pulled out wide in the absence of Pasi, who is coming back from that attack. Wavered. Went ball over the top. Needs a little attention after this injury. Sumit Pasi has to be careful about not talking himself into the book again. He's already on a warning. And Kashi are ready to make a change as well. Ashish Jha will be coming on for Tomba.
Yeah, it looks like it was a really, really bad clash of heads, wasn't it, between the two teams and between the two players, teammates. Might affect what change is made.
Midfielder coming off for a winger as Habas is going searching for an equalizer and more. We're still about to confirm that change. Hopefully the referee also considers this as a drinks break. It's very close to the 75th minute mark anyway. A routine concussion check. Seems to be fine, Valpuya. It's been very smooth so far, this second half. It's the only long stoppage we've had. Nice ball over the top for Prashant, chase down. Had some more time to pick his spot. Very frustrating for players to go down again and again. Akash Mishra now. It's been a recurring problem, especially in this campaign, and you can see in Takashi just wanting to get on with it.
Yeah, we've had waves, haven't we, in this game? We've had a tactical chess match for large spells in the first half, and then all tactics and all coaches, managers' input packed at half-time went out the window. It just got really open with the goals, 2 goals in 3 minutes. The chances then came from Kashi, looked a little bit more like they were getting a foothold of the game, and now it's just gone a little bit more fractious, a little bit more broken up. And you'd have to say for a possession-based style team of Mumbai, it probably plays into the hands of Kashi a little bit more. The game's a little bit more frantic, a little bit more based around set pieces. You can see the main man. I'd like to know what the heart rate is up there going for him. I'm not sure how easy a spectator he is.
Here's Lamas, it's a good ball as well. And Naresh and Chunk, they both went up for it, possibly the centre back getting the final touch. Cross coming in from very deep. They will be coming under some pressure, Mumbai City, they know that. Well, time for another break. Yeah, that means we can take a look at the goals as well. Frantic and blistering beginning to the second half. It's just settled a little. Might come back to life in the last 10 minutes as well. Kashi have shown that they will not stop attacking. They're not afraid. They won't go into a shell. Right, here's the equalizer. And of course, Danu started the move and he finished it off.
Yeah, I love these type of play where Danny, we talked about him and trying to get a little bit more in the game for this second half. We mentioned it at half time, and he links up play well in the midfield. Obviously a winger rolling inside we've been really accustomed to, and Mandy gets that cross in and it's really well worked. But we're in the middle of describing that goal, weren't we? And then we looked up and straight away goes back up to the other end, work the ball down that right hand side, their left hand side for Mumbai City, and then it's cut across and it's that man Chante playing closer to the striker. Chikara in the second half and just able to rattle the ball home to get his team back in the ascendancy.
Danu's suddenly in the spotlight. It's been a big outlet for Kashi in this second half. Now Chandan will try and arrow this in to cause some problems. Counter to make that clearance, and he gets a goal kick for it.
There was a lot of appealing, wasn't it? He wasn't quite clear. I think everybody just instinctively just backs their own team and just One team obviously corner, one team goal kick. Referee made his decision very quickly.
Skewed clearance from Wayne Vaz. Just putting his centre-back partner under some pressure. Then Rohit Danu fouled by Johnny Kauko.
I think that'll be really pleasing. Antonio Habas, just the emergence of Danu in the second half. I'm sure he had a word with him just in terms of trying to get in the game a little bit more. Rather than just waiting for the ball to come to him, he might have to drift in and try and get hold of the ball himself and make things happen, and he certainly has done.
There's a cramp immediately after the drinks break. And Danu's back on his feet though. Johnny Kauko went into the book, possibly for that reaction. Just let the ball run across him and didn't really know that there wasn't enough space for him to do that. Now it's about the squeeze for Mumbai City. They've been in this position before. They'll be looking for control, but there's always the temptation to go and find that third. A 50-50, both players going for it. Sumit Passi is involved.
भाई लाइक
Here's
करो
a challenge
कमेंट
again.
करो यार सब्सक्राइब कर दो भाई
Yeah, it looks like Sumit Passi was never going to get the ball clean, but it looks like he's taken a little bit of a slip and the studs are given way, which collides him straight in. But a fractious game, like we've said, it has had this bubbling away in the second half. It's not a surprise. Maybe started with the dismissal in the first half of Antonio Habas, and it's kind of spilled over to the second half. There's been small little individual battles between players that have bubbled over. The referee's got an opportunity now just to slow things down, try and get a grip, have a word with the teams. But it'll all be time that's added on. All in favour of Kashi trying to create something as they go into the final moments of the game.
Just be careful. That's the word from the referee. And credit to Akash Mishra as well. He's possibly gone and told the referee that it was a 50-50. He got the ball, but Passi, you did mention the little slip. Studs are down as well. It's not a high boot. Yes, he's on a yellow card, but he's been let go of that challenge.
Yeah, two committed and honest players. I say it wasn't reckless, it wasn't endangering the opponent, but obviously a little bit of a reckless one in terms of not that chance that you're able to get the ball. Referee seems to have settled the situation down as we maybe look at further changes being made on the bench here.
Now we're hearing that Jayesh Rane is ready to come on. Albert Moya's gone off the boil a little bit. Yeah, he's ready. And Moya will be replaced. Good shift, especially in that second half. Putting things together, solving the Mumbai City backline puzzle. Jayesh Rane with a lot of experience. Got a great strike on him. Knows a thing or two about making an impact.
Yeah, it just surprised me a little bit. Alfred Moya came, I mean, the last 5 minutes hasn't had much action, but he's the one who's been the creative spark for Kashi in the second half. Alongside that man, Rohit Danu as well, who's been really productive. Does have a real habit of looking towards his bench every time an action's over. Maybe he loves to get a little bit of praise, a little bit of of a geeing up from the bench in his actions that he does, but you'd have to say Moya gets replaced. JF's experienced campaigner can come on, try and have an impact as we probably go into this last 6.5 minutes, plus all the added time from what has been a little stop-start last 15 minutes of the game.
We have Punjab against Goa. That is tomorrow evening, usual kick-off time, as the season starts to settle. Changte. And this is where Peter Kratky will also be caught between two worlds. Does he go for safety first? Does he find the goal that will kill this game off? He's faced the same question last season, last game, the game before that as well. It's a question that plagues head coaches all over the world, especially with 5 or 6 minutes to go. Lamas. Pass has to be better. Another foul this time on Akash Mishra.
Yeah, it was good play, wasn't it, down that left-hand side. We know he's physically strong and robust for a challenge. He's just had to wear one a few minutes ago. On that occasion, 2 players on him, rides the challenge really well, gets the contact, goes down and gets his side a free kick.
Chunk is on this. Not a lot of aerial presence in the box as he leaves this for Zothan Puya. That's a decent ball in as well, testing Taris. Flurry of changes ready for Mumbai City.
Yeah, it's tactically spot on from Peter Kratky. He's trying to slow the game down, make multiple changes. He's just got to make sure that his team don't get caught cold now. Big players, impressive players coming on, players who put big shift in for his side yet again. But he's got to make sure that these fresh legs come, stay focused, have concentration, pick up the tempo and speed of the game straight away. Especially late on with the set piece quality that Kashi been able to have, putting balls in the box.
So Amandeep, Franklin and Stalin all come on. Amandeep last played in the ISL in the 23-24 season. 3 appearances for the Mariners. It's been a long wait, still just 21. Pasi. Good block. Danu just stayed on his feet and sent it inside the box for Petkevicius. Couldn't get on top of that.
Again, all the brightness and intelligent play came from Rohit Danu, able to receive it in tight spaces. A little bit of wriggle out of trouble. There was a bit of contact and felt he maybe could have gone down. Kept himself nice and honest, got that ball in the box. But it seems this wave of changes created a little bit of chaos, a little bit of uncertainty in team shape and a bit of organisation A lot of gesturing on this pitch about who's marking who and what role they're all playing.
Danu. It's got to be sharper. Changte quickly out of his feet. Amandeep over the top. Stalin. Kashi can rebuild from the back. Not a lot of time left in this one. Here's Sergio Lamas. Spots a run over the top. Well defended by Nuno Reis.
Yeah, been interesting to see now later on in the game, can they have a little bit of impact with the attacking bodies that they've put on into Kashi, throwing a lot of men forward now, trying to get balls into the box, create something a little bit different.
Pasi. Prashant takes a touch out for a corner.
Yeah, Prashant, you'd have to say he's had an impact, hasn't he, coming on at half time? We mentioned probably Nas had strolled in that first half, but 8 minutes additional time added, plenty of time left, plenty of opportunities to come.
Make that 9.
Oh, 9.
That's
9 probably
almost,
plus.
That's almost like a half of extra time. Lamas. Oh, just over Chandan, who didn't really risk it. And he's probably replaying that in his head and wondering how he didn't really put his head towards the ball. Vikram Pratap gets his head in the way. Changte, wonderful feet. Finding the gap for Zoltan Puya, who plays it out wide for Amandeep. Stalin again. Trying to be a little too tricky against Wayne Vaz. Oh, Dan was just set up a hit for Vikram Pratap, who's drilled it wide.
Yeah, just on the regain, wasn't it, into Rohit Danu, just a little bit casual on the edge of his own box. They received it, just left it the pass a little bit short. Chandan not able to get out and close the angle, and oh, the shot just agonisingly wide. That might have put the game to bed. Whereas we know this side, into Kashi, they'll go all the way through for the 90 plus 9. They'll be ready.
Oh, card's going to come out. Valpuya has actually struck Petkevicius. We didn't see what happened before that. So we don't really know the entire episode.
You're absolutely right, we don't know what provoked it, but we did see the hand get raised by Valpuya, and that only normally leads to one thing. We haven't seen what started the incident, we just saw the reaction.
They're chatting. There's a push slightly high as well. Nishchal Chandan then comes in. Yellow card for Petkevicius. It might be another colour for Valpuya.
Red
Red
card.
card, sent off for the reaction. He's pleading not guilty, but when the arm is raised anywhere above the chest, neck and above that, you risk being sent off.
Absolutely, and it's a really, really poor time to do it for your teammates, because whatever the provocation was, the reaction was to raise your arms, whether it was towards the neck or the face, but it was touching the opposition and then hands on the referee as well. It's only going to end in one thing. As soon as you put your hands towards the referee, it's game over. Early bath for him. You leave your team down to defend 10 men for the last 6 minutes.
Kashi will be delighted if this leads to an equaliser. There, Habas sent off from the touchline early on. Valpuya sent off, so Mumbai City are a man down. Kashi are a goal down. But there's a counter on, and could be a one-on-one chance as well. Akash Mishra has left the ball behind momentarily, and eventually a tame attempt.
Yeah, when you broke, you just thought he's got to try and get the ball out his feet and try and get the ball to goal as quick as he can. Obviously the recovering defenders from Kashi close him down, but just wasn't able to change the angle around Luis Torres on that occasion, straight on with the ball.
That crosses just away from Petkevicius, kept in play by Prashant. Here's Pasi, doesn't need a second invitation to cross it in. Pressure from the home team. Nishchal Chandan is a really good knockback and very calmly done by Akash Mishra in the end.
That is calm, isn't it? In such a pressure situation, a tense part of the game. We've had a little bit of back and forth in terms of momentum in the game and a little bit of swing towards into Kashi with the red card. Valpuya straight away. Brilliant, casual, calm defending in his own 6-yard box and nod it back.
Ashish Shah. We see straight to Lachetpa, who made the call and has the ball.
You mentioned Ashish Shah. I made the mistake early with the time at the because I was actually looking up his age. I remember him from in my days at Punjab being the academy technical director, the first academy technical director of the club, and remember him, and I just made me feel a little bit old when I looked at his age and his path and his progress since I last saw him in terms of in the flesh.
Pick up Pratap. Sent as wide as possible by Lamas. Picked up very nicely by Danu. The Spanish midfielder to win that back. Ashish Shah once more. Prashant has got support from the captain. And Prashant needs to send in something meaningful here. He's taken a touch, goes out for a corner. The pressure continues.
Off the way into Kashi, they're risking conceding the third goal by trying to get a draw, aren't they? The way they're attacking, they're leaving themselves with the ball at the back, maybe just one defensive play behind the ball. And Wayne Vance just behind the ball to secure them, but everybody else is in an attacking position. Another opportunity to create some havoc.
Lamas. Oh, Wayne Vance went for it. That's straight. Kashi happy to have the ball though. Jayesh Rane. The ball from Mishra. Prashant locks it in. There's a final touch from Sumit Basi. Not really, it's going to be a corner.
It's another good aggressive passage of play from Kashi, keeping the Mumbai City team deep in their own half, deep defending the box again with numbers. It's a lovely ball floated in towards the back post. You can just see a little bit of confusion from that back line now. The 6s and 7s obviously a man down and trying to defend deep to try and get the 3 points.
More incoming corners. Prashant sets up a shot just past Petkevicius. Ashish Jha loops over, and another set piece.
Wave and wave after attack. There's a little bit of work to do as well for the corner taker, isn't it, on both sides? Lamas making sure that he's got the in-swing and out-swing going on both sides. Quality precision.
Here it comes. Defending from Mumbai City. Here's Danu. Puts it back into the mixer. Woodwork first. Luchenko was left lapping for half a second. Here's Jaishwane. Lamas once more. Oh, header's really good from Wade Vaz, and Lachenpa does enough to tip it over.
Oh, it's two brilliant opportunities to get themselves rescue a point. First one came from Nishal Chandan with the header that rattled the crossbar. And then the ball came back out. And again, real wicked delivery, quick, pace, precision.
Kashi. Another attempt again, the crossbar. Wow. And in the end, Mumbai City survived the onslaught. They were down to 10 for the last few minutes when Kashi really begun to tighten the screw. But they get the 3 points and are up to 11 now. Just 2 behind the leaders, Mohan Bagan Supergiant. Kashi hit the crossbar twice in the last minute, but it ends 2-1 in favour of the visitors.
थैंक यू भाई, कल मिलेंगे कल, बाय बाय, गुड नाइट।